Marvel loves to cram things into their films that your average moviegoer might not pick up on. Whether it's a background character who actually had a much larger role in the comics, or someone who is a nod to a future film, not everyone who appears on screen is who they may seem to be. That sounded kinda ominous, but it's really not, so... Anyways, let's just jump right into 5 Marvel characters who are not what they appear. If you enjoy this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell to be notified when we upload fresh content. Everyone remember when Sylvester Stallone randomly showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Well, as it turns out, his character is kind of a big deal. The character is Stakar O'Gord, also known as Starhawk, a superpowered individual whose powers are not fully known, but include enhanced strength, speed, stamina, immortality, and of course, flight. That seems like a standard superhero power set, but it's pretty cool either way. Now, what makes Stakar so cool to see on screen is that he was actually a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy within the comics, as well as an honorary member of the Avengers, which might not be that apparent due to his Ravager-ness, but his final appearance in the film alongside a group of people who all also happen to be related to the Guardians in one way or another sort of cements the connection. So does that mean that we will see him pop up again in Guardians Volume 3? Perhaps, or perhaps not. Either way, it's a good example of Marvel's ever-expanding universe. So this is something that originally began as a fan theory that's now official canon, which is pretty cool. And you might have already heard of this one if you read ScreenRant.com, which you totally should since they have all the movies and entertainment news that you could possibly want. Remember the end of Iron Man 2 when the Hammer drones were attacking the Stark Expo? At one point in that sequence, a little boy wearing an Iron Man mask is seen facing down one of the robots. It looks like he's about to get taken out, but of course Iron Man swoops down, saves him, and tells the kid, "Good job," before blasting off. As was confirmed last year, that little boy was a young Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. Now, obviously that probably wasn't the original intention with that kid, but now that the connection is canon, it's an awesome bit of character development for Parker as it gives him a bit more motivation to do all his heroing. Captain America: The First Avenger introduced us to the Howling Commandos, perhaps the most underused characters in the entirety of the MCU. And that's really a bummer, since one of their members could have been a superhero in their own right. James Falsworth, within the comics, is widely known as the original Union Jack, a highly skilled British operative during World War I. Obviously, the film version of this character is active during the Second World War, albeit without the fancy suit that his counterpart on the page rocks. Still though, he has a similar level of combat proficiency. It is kind of sad that we never got to see him as a fully fledged Union Jack, and we probably never will since he was confirmed as deceased in a deleted scene. Not that deleted scenes are 100% canon, as we saw Captain America in a deleted scene in The Incredible Hulk, so things can change. And it was still at least pretty cool to see him as a member of the Howling Commandos, so at least we have that. Do you remember Samuel Stearns, the cellular biologist who tried to cure Bruce Banner back in The Incredible Hulk? In the film, we see him come into contact with Banner's blood, which begins to mutate his physical form. This was meant to foreshadow his transformation into the Leader, one of the Hulk's greatest villains. However, it was pretty much left at that, at least that's what most moviegoers believe. What you may not know is that we actually did get to see him finish his transformation in a tie-in comic called Fury's Big Week, where we literally see him get kneecapped by Black Widow and captured by S.H.I.E.L.D., which is a pretty tough break for the Professor. But now fans can stop complaining about that plot thread not getting tied up and instead complain about yet another great villain that Marvel has seemingly flushed down the toilet. Now here is perhaps the most recent addition to this list. Everyone loves Groot. The big tree-like goof captured everyone's hearts in Guardians of the Galaxy, showing us that a character that can only say 3 words can still have us hanging on every single one of them. And then he died. And I really mean it, he is dead. But John, I hear you saying, what about Baby Groot? He didn't die, he just grew back from a stick. Nope, according to the director of both Guardians films, James Gunn, Baby Groot is actually the original Groot's son, and that the first Groot is very much dead. Which tells us 2 things. First, that Star-Lord and Baby Groot now have something in common, both of them being characters whose fathers either abandoned them or died saving the Guardians, as in the case of Star-Lord's father figure, Yondu. And secondly, that Marvel is actually capable of killing characters not named Quicksilver, despite what fans might say. And that's our list. Did any of the revelations about these characters surprise you? Were there any characters that we might have missed who aren't all that they appear? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're watching this on Facebook, click the link to be taken to our YouTube channel for more videos like this one. And thanks for watching.